let me introduce you with what we're going to, what are the topics today and tomorrow. And before that, let me tell you the class timings and the duration. Okay, so the total course will take about approximately 50 hours, or could be more even. And it will be a weekend session, so starting at the same time as we started today, and will take about approximately 2.5 hours every Saturday and 2.5 hours every Sundays. Okay, and starting at the same time, and we'll finish it at about 8 to 10 weeks approximately. Okay, and with today's topic, we're going to see, we will not be starting anything specific to SD, but today we'll see what is ERP, what is SAP, why we're using SAP, and what are the benefits of a company using SAP. And if you start working as SAP SD consultant in a company, that what you are supposed to do, what you will be duties, your day-to-day task and all that. Okay, this is what we're going to learn today. And tomorrow we will be starting the main topic for the SAP SD, which is your organizational management. Okay, how org management structure in SAP SD. This is what we're going to see tomorrow. So today we'll start with the introduction to ERP and SAP. Okay, so again, I'll take your question, as I said, after finishing a topic. And in the meantime, if you have a question, you can keep typing in the chat box. Okay, and also the today's class and tomorrow class will be a bit shorter. It's just a demo, so just an introduction, and you can see my teaching methods and all the things that you're going to receive. So today's class will be about 1 hour, around 1.5 hours, and same as tomorrow. But starting next week, we'll be sticking to 2.5 hours every weekend. So introduction to ERP and SAP. So what is ERP? What is SAP? Why we're using it? What are the benefits and all that? We're going to see today. Okay, so let's start with ERP introduction. What is ERP? So ERP is enterprise resource planning. Okay, so what is enterprise resource planning is, SAP is not the only software in the market under enterprise resource planning. There are a lot of others as well. So for example, so let me show you first what is ERP and why ERP. Why we need ERP? I'm not talking about SAP, I'm talking about the whole ERP system. Okay, so why we need ERP? We need it for the integration of business processes. Okay, for example, if you like in a company, in a typical scenario, we have, if I show you, in a typical scenario, we have say company XYZ. We have company XYZ. Give me a sec. So we have a company XYZ, okay, private limited. Okay, now in a company we have different departments. For example, we have a sales department. Okay, we have a material management department, or in other words you can say purchasing. Okay, purchasing department. Then we have production planning department. Okay, so and then we have a accounting department. Okay, so we have a different departments in a company, you can see. Okay, so sales department, they will doing the sales processes like sending quotation to the customers, taking inquiries, creating sales order and all that, and whatever sales order they will receive, they will further send it to the production department, and before that they will send it to the material management department. Okay, or the purchasing department. Okay, so for example, if my company is say making any any product, say laptop or anything, right? So I'll receive the orders in the sales department, then I will send the requirements to the material management, and material management or the purchasing department will see that what are the raw materials we need to manufacture this product. Okay, and if there is sufficient in the stock, it's fine. If there is not sufficient, they will send the purchase order to the vendor and will start the procurement of the products. Then once you have all the products, then the production department will start the manufacturing of the goods that my company is going to produce. Okay, and once the production is done, then there is another one you can add, logistic. Then we have logistic department, which will ship the goods to the end customer, and finally will send the information to the accounting department, and the accounting department will further send the customer invoices and all that. Okay, so this is how a typical scenario works in a company. Okay, now if you do not have an ERP system, so what will happen is all the departments will be using their own softwares. Okay, sales, whether sales, material management, production, logistic, accounting. Okay, so sales department has their own software or own database, and material management their own database, production planning their own database. Okay, and same as a logistic and accounting. Okay, there's no integration between them. Okay, there is nothing like if somebody calls the sales department, they will ask, where is my order? Okay, they looking at the system, they immediately can't tell them, okay, what is the status of my order, because their database are not integrated, because they are not using ERP system. Okay, so they need to tell the customer, okay, call us back later in an hour, let me find out. They will go and ask the material management or production department, okay, where is the status, where is the order for this customer, okay, and all that. Or they will call the different departments. Okay, but if you have a ERP system, you can immediately check the status of any order or what's happened, any delivery or anything, any invoice or anything, right? So everything is integrated, and just by clicking 2 or 3 buttons, you can see that, okay, they ordered for 10 laptops, and okay, we have delivered 5, and 4 are there in the manufacturing, 1 is with the logistic, and you can immediately tell the customer, okay, this is the status of your order by looking into the system. Okay, if you're using ERP system. Okay, now this is just an overview. Don't get confused. If you are getting confused, you will learn more about it as we go further. Okay. So this is the use we're going to see. Why we're using ERP. So number 1 is integration of business process. Okay, as I said, it will integrate all the different business process, all the different departments in your company, like sales department or the purchasing department or anything. Okay. Then standardization of system across location. Okay, so for example, your company is a multinational company. Okay, they have a head office in US, and they have different plants all over the world. Okay, so with using ERP, you can have a standardized system in every location. Doesn't matter in which country they're operating. You will have the standard process in each and every country using the ERP system, right? Then for overall control of organization, you can control your organization from your ERP system. Okay, so we'll discuss more about it in the practicals. Better controlling of the different business processes. Okay, so you can have a better control of the business processes as they are integrated. Okay, so you can quickly check the status of what the other department is doing, what's the status of this and all that. Okay, so you have better control of the business process in your company. Then reporting. So you can have a better reporting system because all the databases are integrated. So you can run one report for example, you can run one report for a customer. You can see, okay, for this customer, give me the report of all the sales order that we received in the last 1 month and what are their status. Okay, so system will take a few seconds and give the report for this customer. They will say, okay, they placed 100 orders in the last 1 month, and this is the status of their orders. So we have delivered 50, 10 is with material management, 30 is with this department, 20 is with this department, and you will get the whole list, an integrated list within one software. Okay, because everything is integrated. So it's a better reporting you have. Then best utilization of resources, that is your man, material and machines, because using the integrated software, okay, so you can utilize your man, material or all the resources in a better way. Okay, so these are just the commonly used the benefits of ERP. Okay, so ERP products in the market. So SAP is not the only software in the market who has who is providing the ERP software. There are some more. So obviously one is SAP and is the #1 in the market, having 60% share all over the world. Okay. Then we have some others like Oracle. Okay, we have BAN, we have PeopleSoft, we have JD Edwards, we have Marshall, and some others. Okay, but you can see SAP has the biggest share in the market. Okay, and even with the other companies who are using other softwares, they are moving towards SAP. Okay. Now, this is what we have seen with what is ERP and all that. Okay, so far, if you have any question, please raise your hand or type your question here. And there are some questions here, and let me take some questions here. Okay, from the chat box. Hi and hello to everyone here. And Moshin Ali is asking, hello, login and ID password for this. I think you're talking about the website ID and password. Yes, you will get it once after the enrollment. Okay. Does ERP, if we can say that it is an integration of different modules? Yes. Yes, that's what it is. It's an integration of different modules in a company. Another question from Perry. Can you increase volume from your speaker? Earlier you reduced volume. This volume is only for me. It has nothing to do with you actually. It has nothing to do with, if I make it full, it's just for me. Okay, not for you. So even I make it full here, so you will not find any difference. Sorry for the late. Could you shortly brief about ERP? Don't worry if you are late in the class. I'm recording every class and I will be sending you the link for every class. So if you miss something, you can go to the recording again. Okay, so don't worry about it if you miss something. Okay, so another question. But if you didn't understand anything that I have explained here, then you're most welcome. I can explain it again. But if you're late into the class, then probably the best thing is to save some time and you can watch that while the recordings. Okay, so no question again. So let me continue here with SAP introduction. So what is SAP? First thing is, I would like to tell you, most commonly you have seen people calling it SAP. Okay, you can call it SAP or whatever you want, but ideally you should be calling it SAP. Okay, so even if you going for an interview for SAP job, then in the interview if you say SAP, it's not a good impression. Okay, so you should be calling it SAP in a professional language. Okay, so why is SAP? Okay, why we need SAP? So SAP stands for System Applications and Products in Data Processing. Okay, that's the full form of SAP. Okay, so System Applications and Products in Data Processing or Database Processing. That's why that's what SAP stands for. So worldwide we have 10 million users, 30,000 installations, 1,000 partners, 21 industry solutions, and customer worldwide, mostly Fortune 500 companies. 95% of the top 100 German companies use SAP. Okay, so you can see like there are millions of users in worldwide and 30,000 installation. As I said, because SAP has the biggest share in the market. Okay, it got 60% share. I think it should be more than that, and because 60% is the old figure, 1 or 2 year old figure. So most of like 95% companies in Germany, they're using SAP. Okay, and because also you might know that you can Google or you can find from other websites, or even from my website, about the history of SAP. I would not go into the detail of history of SAP. You can see in my website as well, and we'll save some time here. Okay, but just to quickly tell you, SAP was founded in Germany by 4 guys from IBM, and in 1972. And after that, it keeps progressing, and now it's as I said, it's one of the number one ERP software in the world. So SAP is the 4th largest software company in the world. Okay, as I said, this is the 4th largest company in the world. Okay, in the software only, not ERP, on all the softwares. SAP ERP system is a business software package designed to integrate all areas of businesses. Okay, so as I said, SAP ERP is basically a software that will integrate all the different areas or different modules or different department in your company. Okay, whether it's a sales, finance, even I've shown you just few examples, but there are many other examples like HR department, human resources, and all that, costing, accounting, and all that. Okay, so CRM, SRM. Okay, so it can integrate everything. So, and we have different modules in SAP. Okay, so one person works in one module. Okay, mostly. So different modules in SAP. So basically, all the modules in SAP are divided into two categories. Okay, so category number one is functional, and category number two is technical. Now, to learn functional, you do not really require any sort of IT background or any programming background. Okay, so it's good if you have some business knowledge. Like if you want to learn SD, it's good if you understand what is sales order, what is billing, what is invoice, and all that. But if you don't know anything, then don't worry about it. We will learn everything here from the scratch. Okay, so if you don't know what's the business process in SD and you want to learn SD, don't worry about it. I will make you understand everything from the scratch here. Okay, so as I said, to learn any functional module in SAP, you do not really need any specific background or any software engineering or any computer engineering. Okay, so you can learn everything from scratch here. But there is some technical module. So to learn technical side of SAP, you need some technical background. Okay, for example, you should have some like programming background and all that. Okay, to learn technical side of it. So in the function side, we have, I'll just show you some couple of functional module examples. So we have some functional modules in SAP. One is FI, or it's also called FICO, FICO. Okay, so financial accounting. Then we have CO, controlling. Okay, that's also a part of finance. Then we have HR, human resources. Then of course we have SD, sales and distribution. And material management, MM, production planning, CRM, customer relationship management, and many more. There are many others function modules. Okay, so the one we're going to see here is SD. Okay, so SD is our functional, and as I said, if you do not have any background, don't worry, I will make you learn everything from scratch. Then we have technical modules. So technical modules examples are NetWeaver or BISYS. Okay, where like if a company wants to install SAP system and they have say 500 users. Okay, so the NetWeaver or the BISYS consultant will go there and do all the installation of the SAP software. Okay, that's done by SAP NetWeaver or BISYS. Okay, and ABAP is the programming side of SAP. So it stands for Advanced Business Application Programming. Okay, which is the programming side of it. Then BIBW, so Business Intelligence or Business Warehouse. This is a reporting side of SAP. Okay, and SAP Enterprise Portal. So what Enterprise Portal is, for example, if a company is using different SAP products, for example, a company is using SAP ECC. Okay, SAP ECC is a normal SAP, or an SAP CRM. They're also using SAP SCM, SRM, sorry, Supplier Relationship Management. They're using SAP BW and many more, etc. Okay, so if I'm the user in a company and say they're using 7 different products of SAP, okay, then if I want to log on to SAP ECC, I need to log in into SAP ECC with my own password, and then I want to go to SRM, I need to log in into SRM as well, and BW as well the same way. Okay, so every time I will go into the system, enter my user ID and password, and I will then access that system. Okay, but what Enterprise Portal is, in Enterprise Portal you have just one interface. Okay, and you just log in once at a time. Okay, and from there you can jump to any other system without entering your password and anything. Okay, so you don't need to go into the detail, just for your understanding what is enterprise portal. Then we have HANA. Okay, then HANA is another you can say the next version of this BICYS. Okay, and all that. Okay, so to learn this any of this technical module, you should have some computer engineering or programming background. Okay, to learn these modules. Okay, so let's stick to the functional side of it. So as I said, SAP R3 is your, when I say, if I say SAP ECC or if I say SAP R3, it's the same thing, or even if I say SAP. Okay, but basically these two, they're same thing. Okay, so R3 means 3 tier. Okay, and SAP ECC is the same thing. Okay, so SAP R3. So here you can see it's an integration of different modules. For example, you have one R3 server or SAP server, and in one server you have everything. You have ABAP, you have sales and distribution SD, you have MM, you have PP, you have QM, you have PM, different modules in a company. So everything is integrated into one server. Okay, and your SD is also here, you can see. Okay, that's your I told you what's the use of integrating all the application into one server, so you can have like better reporting, better integration, and better business processes. Okay. Then let's discuss. Let me tell you in a quickly that what is SAP R3 architecture. Okay, but for example, if I want to log on to the system, so what I'll do, this is the SAP logon pad. So I will click on this one, and here it will ask me where I want to log on. So I will say I want to log on to CRM or ECC. So I will click on ECC and I will enter my password and user ID to log on. Okay, so it will ask my user ID and password here. Okay, so here I will enter my password and ID and I will start using the system. Okay, but what happens in the backend? Okay, just for your understanding that what happens in the backend. So this is called GUI. This is called GUI, GUI. This is the GUI. Okay, so graphical user interface. Okay, you use this interface to log on to the SAP server. Okay, so what happens is this is your GUI. Okay, so any user will use SAP GUI to log on to the server. Okay, then we have, when I say SAP R3, that means it has 3-tier architecture. That means there are 3 different layers. Okay, so first layer is your presentation layer. You can see the presentation layer where we have SAP GUI. So I'm using SAP GUI to log on to the server, to SAP system. Okay, so I'm the end user or a consultant. Okay, so I will use SAP GUI to log on to the system, and this is called the presentation layer. Okay, then what happens when I log on to the system? Then what happens? Whatever interaction I do with this screen after logging on, it will be communicated to the application server. Okay, so there is an application server in the middle, and at the bottom we have a database. Okay, so whether you're creating some data, whether you pulling some data, whether you're changing some data from this screen, if you look at this person here, so whatever you're doing here, you're talking to the database actually. Okay, you're creating something, you're changing something, you're deleting something. Okay, you're interacting with the database, but you interacting it via the application layer. So there's a layer in between you and the database, which is known as application layer. Okay, so this is a 3-layer architecture. That's why we call it R3, 3-layer. Okay, R3, 3-layer. So you will be interacting with the database or the server via the application server. Okay, so every user will be, so this is only one person here, but you can have 500 people here interacting with the database server via the different application server. Okay, that's how it really works behind the screen. Okay, and also if you look at this is the software side of it on the left hand side, but if you look on the right hand side, you can see the hardware side of it. Okay, so basically these are the computers or the users on the top layer using it, and they can communicating with the server here. Okay, on the bottom. Okay, and they're communicating via this application server. Okay, so there could be, we could have one database server, but we could have many, maybe say 10 application server, and we could have 500 GUI, where end users using those GUI to interact with the database via the application server. Okay, and these are scalable. Like today you implemented in your company for 100 users. Okay, and tomorrow you say, okay, our company is growing and we need 200 users. Then they are scalable. Okay, you can add or you can scale to the next level up. Okay, they are scalable. So tomorrow you'll say I need the servers or the application server as per for 200 users. So that means there will be more load on the servers. Then you can upgrade your servers depending on the users you want. Okay, they are scalable. Okay, you don't need to go into the details into this one. You are just a functional consultant and you need to concentrate on SD, but this is just for understanding what happens behind the screen, right? Also, then what happens is whatever changes we make is, if I show you here, we have basically three systems in any company. In a standard scenario, we have three systems. So first we have SAP Dev means development. Okay, we have development system. Then we have QoS system. QoS means testing system. Okay, then we have SAP production. Okay, so all the end users, they're using SAP production system for their day-to-day work or changing data, creating data. They use production system. Okay, and because I'm the SD consultant, and if I need to change something in the customizing, okay, or need to create something or need to experiment with something, I will never do in the production environment. Why? Because there are 500 users using the production system, and if I do a little mistake, then what will happen? All those 500 users could have problem, okay, with their day-to-day work. So at any cost, we never want to stop this production at any cost, right? So whatever experiment or the changes as a consultant I want to do, will do in the development. Okay, so all that thing I will do in the development first. So I will make sure whatever I have done in the development is fine. Then I will send the changes to the next system, which is a QoS system. Okay, so here I will test the changes and I will make sure that the changes are correct and it's not causing any issue. Okay, and these changes will also be tested by the business users. Okay, so you are the consultant, you will make the changes to the development and make sure the changes are correct. You will send it to the QoS system, right? And someone from the business, okay, or from the company will make sure that whatever changes you have done in the system are correct. Okay, and once they test in the QoS system, they will say, okay, whatever customizing you have done is fine and it's working. Okay, I have tested it. Then you will take those changes to the production server. Okay, and this is the way it works, right? So we start with development, we'll send it to QoS, everything is okay, we'll send it to production. Okay, so this is what this slide is saying. So we'll start the development work in the development client, and then when everything is okay, we'll send it to the quality system where someone will test and will make sure that the changes are correct. And once everything is done, then we'll send the changes to production department, right? Okay, so that's the end of this topic. So before I go to the next topic, let me take some questions here.